Imagine drifting alone on the open ocean, with only the roar of crashing waves and a distant foghorn haunting the dawn mist. A majestic Titanic-class liner, carrying hundreds of hopeful souls. Yet it vanished without a trace into the vast expanse of the sea. The SS Waratah, this 1909 maritime mystery remains unsolved to this day. What really happened to the ship and everyone on board? Introduction and historical context. The SS Waratah was launched on June 12, 1908, from the Harland and Wolff shipyards in Belfast. Fresh from the drawing board of the legendary Union Castle Line, one of Britain's premier passenger carriers between England and South Africa. Owned by the Union Castle parent company, Deutschen Ostafrikanische Linien, she was christened as the crown jewel of their England-Australia service, a vital artery in the Empire's trade and travel network. At 450 feet long and displacing nearly 10,000 tons fully loaded, the Waratah stood as a close cousin to Titanic in scale and ambition. She boasted accommodation for over 300 first-class passengers and another 600 in steerage, complete with electric lights, dining salons, a smoking room, and even a palm court, a testament to Edwardian-era luxury at sea. Yet unlike Titanic's transatlantic glamour, Waratah's elegance was matched by rugged utility. Refrigerated cargo holds packed with Australian wool and meat bound for British markets, and state-of-the-art steam turbines ensuring she could maintain a brisk 17 knots. In the early 1900s, maritime travel was the true lifeblood of global commerce. Every voyage carried not just passengers, but the raw materials and perishable goods that fueled industrial cities back in Europe. The Waratah's maiden journey from London to Sydney was more than a simple passage. It was a lifeline connecting continents, cultures, and economies. Her disappearance in July 1909 thus sent shock waves through the shipping world, an era built on the certainty of these great liners suddenly confronted by an unfathomable void. Today, we rewind the clock to explore how this state-of-the-art vessel could simply vanish, leaving behind only a handful of radio messages and a legacy of unanswered questions. The Fateful Voyage. On July 16, 1909, the SS Waratah slipped her moorings at Durban, South Africa, bound for Cape Town and then a final push across the Indian Ocean to Melbourne. Her manifest listed 201 souls, a complement of 138 crew led by Captain John S. Wilmot and Chief Engineer William Gregory. Alongside 73 passengers ranging from British businessmen and pioneering settlers to honeymooners and missionaries returning home. Among them were Walter Harrison, a wool merchant with contracts in London, Mrs. Eleanor Bryant, en route to reunite with her husband in Melbourne, and Dr. Frederick Halcombe, the ship's surgeon, known for his calm under pressure. The late July seas off the Cape were notorious for sudden winter gales. As Waratah steamed past the perilous Cape of Good Hope, lookouts recorded dark slate skies and churning swells rising 20 feet or more. Temperatures dipped, and bitter winds drove spray across the teak decks. Yet the Waratah, with her twin steam turbines rated at 17 knots, pressed on with confidence, her hull designed to slice through the roughest Southern Ocean troughs. By July 26th, she had passed the roaring Cape and set course northeast toward Melbourne's Port Phillip Bay. Radio operators exchanged routine weather reports. Scattered squalls, barometric pressure falling slightly, but nothing alarming for a ship built with the latest Watson-class bulkheads and self-adjusting steam pumps. In the last wireless message received sent just after midnight, Dr. Halcombe noted, "Calm seas, visibility good, all aboard in fine spirits." Yet only hours later, the Waratah vanished into the abyss, leaving behind a single unanswered question. How could a state-of-the-art liner simply disappear under clear skies? The Disappearance. The last known radio transmission from the SS Waratah arrived in the early hours between July 27th and 28th, 1909. At 01:15 a.m., wireless operator Thomas Smythe sent a routine Morse code signal to the Union Castle Line's Cape Town station. All well. Position estimated 34 degrees, 22nd degree. Weather moderate, maintaining 17 knots. No sooner had the dash ended than the night fell eerily silent. By dawn on July 28th, the Waratah's planned morning check-in never came. Concern spiked when a passing cargo steamer, the SS Melrose Abbey, intercepted faint SOS-like fragments around 03. 40 a.m. just indecipherable static punctuated by what sounded like crashing metal. But when Melrose Abbey's captain altered course to investigate, he found nothing but empty ocean, oil slicks, and debris too scattered to identify. Nearby logbooks from 3 vessels, the RMS Pretoria, SS Osborne, and the German collier SS Braemar record similar fragments. A single distress flare off the starboard bow at approximately 2 a.m., followed by the sudden cut of all wireless signals. None reported seeing the Waratah's lights, suggesting any disaster occurred swiftly and far from shipping lanes. Initial theories swirled through the Admiralty and shipping circles. Had a freak winter gale overwhelmed her? Could she have struck an uncharted reef or submerged rock, ripping open her Watson-class hull? Some engineers whispered of possible turbine failure leading to a loss of steam power, leaving Waratah helpless in heavy seas. Her cargo of bales and refrigerated meat shifting violently, capsizing her in seconds. Others pointed to a design flaw in her hull plating, suspecting that the double-bottom bulkheads might not withstand repeated Southern Ocean pounding. Yet none of these conjectures found confirmation. No lifeboats were ever recovered, no human remains washed ashore, and the Waratah's hull lay uncharted beneath the dark waters. In the absence of survivors or wreckage, the liner simply faded from view, an Edwardian ghost ship, swallowed whole by the sea. Search and investigation. As word of the Waratah's disappearance spread, the British Admiralty and Union Castle Line mobilized an unprecedented search. At dawn on July 29th, HMS Challenger, a county-class cruiser, steamed into the last reported coordinates. Its spotter planes, ferry-third maritime float planes, launched from catapults to sweep the horizon. Simultaneously, 3 other cruisers and a flotilla of smaller support vessels fanned out in a 200-mile radius. On the airfront, Royal Navy flying boats from Arnas Walvis Bay traced spiral patterns overhead, scanning glassy water for any sign of wreckage. Despite days of relentless effort, tugboats dredging potential debris fields, search parties dropping colored dye markers, and amateur yachts volunteering to assist, nothing solid emerged. No broken timber, no oil slick beyond trace amounts, no lifeboat spotted adrift. Coastal islands and remote inlets received frantic inspections. Shores remained eerily clean. Even the testimonies of local whalers and trawlers yielded only rumors of strange lights and disturbances at sea, but no physical proof. In 2 successive bulletins, the Union Castle Line expressed utmost regret, but held hope for survivors. The British government issued a formal inquiry, convening naval architects, wireless experts, and meteorologists in London. Their final report, published in March 1910, conceded that the precise cause of Waratah's loss could not be determined. They noted weather conditions, no record of extraordinary storms. Hull integrity, No evidence of systemic design failure in sister ships. Mechanical status, turbine and boiler maintenance logs showed no irregularities. The board's sober conclusion stated simply, in the absence of wreckage or eyewitness testimony, it must be presumed that SS Waratah foundered in open waters due to causes that remain undetermined. No individual or collective fault has been established. With that, official inquiries closed, and SS Waratah's fate was consigned to the depths, unresolved. Aftermath and enduring mystery. The Waratah's vanishing sent shockwaves through families and the shipping world alike. In London, drawing rooms and Melbourne parlours, wives and children clung to hope letters went unanswered. Telegrams offered only condolences. Families pooled resources to commission private searches. Memorial services were held on both hemispheres' shores, yet no grave existed for the lost. For the Union Castle line, the loss marked a crisis of confidence. Passenger bookings on the England-Australia route dipped by 40%, and rival lines seized on the tragedy in their marketing, promising impenetrable hulls and unfailing steam engines. Naval architects re-examined bulkhead designs, while insurers raised premiums on deep-sea voyages, forever changing maritime standards. Conspiracy theories flourished. Some whispered of South Atlantic pirates ambushing the liner for its refrigerated meat holds. Others claimed a catastrophic coal bunker explosion lighted coal shifting in rough seas, igniting and tearing the ship's ribs apart. Yet more than 110 years later, SS Waratah remains the quintessential ghost ship. No wreck has ever been found. No bodies recovered. She exists only in radiologs, archival photographs, and the whispered speculations of deep-sea divers. The Waratah's mystery endures because without evidence, every theory stands an ageless enigma swallowed by the ocean she once ruled. Personal perspective. For the descendants of those lost, Waratah's disappearance is more than a historical footnote. It's a family scar. In a weathered scrapbook held by Mrs. Margaret Sinclair, great-granddaughter of passenger Robert Sinclair, a yellowed photograph shows him smiling on the dock at Durban, suitcase in hand. Tucked behind the photo is an unopened letter addressed to "My dearest Margaret," penned just days before departure. "My love, I promise to return with tales of distant shores and bring you fine silks from Melbourne. Keep faith. Our reunion will be worth every lonely sunset." Across the ocean, in a small cottage near Brighton, Mr. Alan Murray keeps alive the memory of Nurse Elsie Murray, his grandmother, who served aboard as stewardess. Each July 28th, he places her silver pocket watch stopped at 2:03 a.m. on the mantelpiece, a quiet vigil against forgetting. Their stories reveal not just a vanished ship, but lives interrupted, dreams unfulfilled, and a hope that survives even as the ocean holds its secrets. For these families, Waratah isn't simply a wreck. She's a promise never kept and a mystery they continue to carry in their hearts. The SS Waratah vanished into the depths more than a century ago, yet her secrets and the lives she carried still echo across the waves. Remembering these untold chapters of history honors those lost and reminds us that every story matters. If you believe history should never be forgotten, hit the like button. Subscribe and share your theories about Waratah's fate in the comments below.
More stories they tried to erase.